Hi everybody, Maria here. Just a quick 10-minute make here. I wanted to do something using the lovely White Clouds colour cloud blending ink. This is mainly for Sarah, who's asked me about how to do splatters with the colour cloud. So I thought rather than just sort of do splatters, let's make a card. So on this one, just nice and easy, we're going to stencil, stamp and splatter as well, just to show you a couple of things rather than just splattering. Okay, so let's make a little start. Bits and bobs I'm going to use. So the colour cloud itself, Cosmic Shimmer White Clouds. This is lovely. I like this a lot. I use this a lot as sort of a white ink pad because it's kind of juicy and nice and bright white as well. So anything that I want juicy and bright white, this is my go-to. Okay, so a couple of other bits I'm going to use, just a couple of tools, nice and simple. I'm going to use a blending tool and a fan brush as well. Okay, so what I've done, I've gone ahead, I've cut a couple of bits and bobs to size here. So we need this little piece of black and this piece of black here as well. So I think first thing I'm going to do, same as I did on my finished piece, let's just stencil onto here. So any stencil you like. I'm going for a metal stencil here. I'm going to use a Sweet Poppy stencil. Okay, so let me just lay this over my card and then onto my magnet. Here we go. So I'm just kind of using this sort of part of the stencil here. My cardstock is cut to 5.5 inches square for the black layer. Okay, so that's on there already. Okay, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my colour cloud. I'm going to use my dauber for this, or I can use a brush as well. I have a brush that I use just for whiting, and what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to see how the applicator goes on here, because what I do find sometimes with metal stencils is that you can end up sort of tearing your blending applicator, because obviously, you know, this is a metal stencil, there are sharp bits on there. And also you need to kind of press to get in there quite well as well. Whereas if I go in with my brush, let me just, and it doesn't look like I've picked up masses and masses of ink, but what I'll find with this is straight away we're going to get just a nicer, smoother, there we go. See, I can smooth that ink out. Okay, so you know, blending applicator if that's what you've got, but if you have got a brush that you can dedicate just to white ink, then that will be lovely. And also, I say, it's going to last because it's not going to kind of tear your foam, and you're going to get a nice soft layer of ink. Here we go. So I'm maybe going past where my card is here. Let me just see if I can see where my card ends. There we go. Oh yeah, so it's right up there. That's it. Okay, brilliant. That's anything with a black card and a black magnet. Maybe not a winning combination there, but hey ho. All right, so let's have a little look there. Make sure I've got all my bits. A lot of this is going to be covered anyway by our little topper. So what I want to do, I'm trying to get a little bit more white up here, because where I've gone in with my blending applicator there, it's kind of darker. So we'll just, in some areas, just make it a little dark, or a little whiter rather than darker. Right, let's have a look and see what we've got on there. Okay, that's lovely. No need to worry about the stencil. I can just pop that to one side for now, because it's a water-based product that we're using, so it's going to be easy to clean off. So that's my stenciled layer just there. So I'm going to pop that to one side for a minute. Okay, I've got this on my fingers. Now, one thing that I always tell my workshop ladies is when you get ink on your fingers, although it's usually black, clean it off. This is the same. We're using black card, so I can end up putting this white ink all over my my black card. So I will just go in and just have a little clean up, just a little one, not going crazy. There we go, just to make sure I'm not covered in ink. Okay, so we've stenciled and now let's stamp. So all I've done here, I didn't give masses and masses of thought to this, what I was going to do here. I literally had a little, the stencil was on one side of my desk, and this little stamp here, old stamp, was on another side of the desk, and I thought, you know what, that'll do just for a quick card. Okay, so I've got another little piece of black card here now, so it's about 8 centimeters square. So I'm just going to make sure, there we go, that the stamp is going to be in the middle of that. So I'm going to go in then, and to ink up the stamp, I always use, unless I'm using a tiny part of a stamp, in which case I will come in with a dauber or a sponge so I can get into tiny areas. There we go, so you can see I'm just pressing on to the pad there, get plenty of ink onto here. Bring that, oops, hello. Right, there we go. Could do my camera a little bit higher, I think. Right, a little press. Have a little look at that. Okay, so you can see you've got beautiful crisp stamped lines there with the colour cloud. Now if you want it a little bit bright, that's perfectly fine because it's all nice and uniform. But if you do want it a little bit brighter, then of course you can just, if you're using your stamp platform, okay, and you haven't moved your stamp, then we can just go back in, we just move this across, there we go, and just give that another layer. Let me use a little tool. There we go, just to give even pressure, save my fingers. Right, okay, so there, that's lovely. Very, very crisp, nice and white. Quite happy with that. White ink pads are tricky because sometimes you can get a very, very white ink pad, but if it's too juicy, you won't get crisp stamping, like you'll get splodgy bits. So that's why I tend to use the colour cloud, and I also like my picket fence as well, because although that's not bright white, I do get nice stamping like this. Right, so we're going to do some speckles, some splashes, and I don't want them in there. I want to sort of protect the heart. So what I've done is I've just cut a mask to pop that over like so. Here we go. All right, and just so simple. I'm going to move some copy paper here. I'm going to kind of protect a bigger area from splashes, otherwise there'll be tears. I'm going to move my stencil piece because again I don't particularly want splatters on there. And then all I'm going to do to create the splatters is we just go in with your fan brush, okay, just dab that in. You'll see what you've got here is a piece of foam on the top, and then there's a hollow underneath. So I just get that brush in there and just give that a good old squidge round, pick up plenty of the ink. Okay, now this is not really wet enough to just do splatter. This particular one might be because I've used this 5 minutes ago. Let's see. Yeah, see, even 5 minutes ago. So what we do is we just give it, just move that a second, just 1, 2, 2 tiny little splashes of water is more than enough. And then now I can come in and just, I'm going to hold my brush at the end and just tap like so. There we go. And then you're going to get some really nice, and you get as many or as few as you want. Let's get plenty because, as I say, we are showing how to do splatters with the colour cloud. So let's make this, it's a bit cosmic looking, that, isn't it? All right, simple as that. Again, the brush, I haven't got to worry about being speedy to get that cleaned up. I'm just going to pop that on the lid of the pot because it's water based. It's going to clean up for me, not a problem. Here we go. So nice and easy. So now I've got my splatters, but I've got my heart is nice and clear of splatters. There we go. Right, so let's have a look now. Put this together. So I've got a 7-inch card blank, okay, because I thought I'd have a nice little border. I put some tape on there already. I've mounted up a piece of silver holographic card, and that is 5 3/4 inches to give me just this nice border all the way around. So I'm going to pop on the stenciled piece like so. Let's have a look. I'm going to attempt to get it somewhere in the region of straight. We may or we may not. There we go, that'll do fine. Okay, and then I've prepared another piece here. So I've got some pads on the back to raise my little heart up. So let me just take some of the stickies away. There we go. And I'm actually only going to use the 4 corner ones, just because sometimes you can fill a piece with loads of pads. You don't actually need all of them to stick. A lot of them is just to sort of pad your piece out. So I'm going to pop this on here like so. Okay, and then I'm going to take more tape away and pop the heart in place. I'm not putting a sentiment on here or anything, because then this card can be for anything. It can be for a friend. You know, I have plenty of friends that I love. A heart doesn't necessarily just mean your partner, does it? So there we go. So that is your colour cloud. Let me show you that again. From Cosmic Shimmer, big pot, lovely stuff. Okay, so we've stenciled, we've stamped, and we've splattered. Okay, so Sarah, I hope that answers your question about splattering. To get this out and use it, my friend. Okay, thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care. Bye.